Yeah, I mean, you've made a habit of not wanting to talk about it, so you know.
This is an
Just
art
let you
piece
have your
I
space.
do need to commission. Be like, hey, black and white photo sketch. The top back of Torn's like babby head reaching up into the little hay thing
No.
where they had the eggs there, and have like
Aw.
Levencroft Senior plucking some of the egg bits out of there to clean it for him. Like, oh, that'd just be mad wholesome. I need to get a background picture of each character, like an important background moment, like Wilhelm with his kids and wife in front of their little house, Torn with Levencroft Senior grabbing the eggshell bits.
Solidly Photoshop Peter into the background of Anastasia, one of the flashback scenes of Anastasia.
Yeah, Peter
just
walking in the
standing there.
background, just like part of the guard. Oh, that actually, like a little bit behind what is implied to be the royal family. With his art style, holy shit, he would make like Zart look fucking awesome. Nico's like up on the top nose of the Titanic sipping tea. Just like, what are you complaining about? It's not that cold.
No, in the grand ballroom, looking very annoyed, but the whole room is tilted vertically.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just oddly wholesome moment of very small in quotations, Hachu like crawling through the rafters, handing some voodoo potions to the fucking voodoo doctor.
No. Yeah, well, you could do that, or you could do Hachu get down, Mr. Presidenting.
Yeah,
Huey Long.
get down, Mr. President.
Huey
Just
Long
taking
on the
hit.
steps of the Louisiana State Capitol where he got assassinated
Yeah.
IRL.
Oh man,
Does that happen in what, 34 or 35?
that was
Hachu?
30.
It happened. It was 35.
Was it 35?
Yes.
I remember the reason for it was because he actually stood a chance of beating FDR in the 36 election.
Yeah, and they didn't like that.
Now the official story is there was no connection to be made.
Oh,
but
sure.
I'm just saying.
Last we left off with a nice shortstop session here. Wonders Company has made their way to Boston proper and opting to hit up the Boston Museum of the Arcane and Unnatural with studies in cryptology and the like to get their footing underneath them as they get nice and cozy before they make a trip over to DC to report into their commanding officer for OSS operations. After that, they are to head back to Boston, where Wondrous Company specifically is being tasked with aiding in the research and investigation to a series of mass murders that seem to be entering the occult level, thus warranting aid from the OSS and greater capable persons than what Boston PD has available. With that said, the last we left off, you guys discovered Torin is the now proud sole owner, well, co-owner next to Mr. Ambrose, the Warforged automaton of the Great War, and friend and butler and but lifelong service friend to the Levencroft name, and now in turn to Torin, who financially runs the museum, its assets, its tank, its car assortment and vehicles.
Its fleet. Its
Its
actual
The
fleet.
battleship.
its small fleet with a tiny river pocket battleship torpedo ram, and its 90 and 60-foot yachts, including what other assets Torn is unaware of that may be overseas or in other parts of the world as of yet, which Ambrose has assured he has a tight control on, as he seems to have had the main control on since about 1920, 1922. He's kind of been running everything, while Levencroft has been more so doing the executive and hands-on directing. And it
I need a Google
seems
Doc of all those at some point in time.
it seems eventually I'll be getting to you a proper full list. However, Ambrose, as he has been, will continue to financially and organized run it, while Torn is now the head of the family and the estate.
Thank
But,
God.
yeah, thankfully. As was also requested with his current service with the OSS, Levencroft Sr. made a request that Torn be allowed to finish his time of service until he was adequately able to fully return and give his full attention to the museum once again. With the possibility of wars and rumors of wars rising, his efforts are better served with the nation and with magic as a whole. However, last moment we left off, you guys were getting served some food, some sub sandwiches and some hoagies and meatball subs, hastily assembled by Ambrose. Well, Torn had found himself sitting down in, oddly enough, the chair that Levencroft Sr. was sitting in, Levencroft's chair himself. Finding an old picture and seeing where the last letter he wrote was written. And the party was kind of consoling Torn, giving him some pats on the back, as you guys kind of put a bit of feelings aside to focus on food at the moment and discussing what you were going to do next, and perhaps anything else you guys felt you needed to discuss for the time being.
Still
Cast
can't
that
believe
damn communist spell in here.
Not this time.
Wait, well, food. We've gotten the food situation out of the way.
Oh, don't forget, we took pictures of Hachu eating a watermelon.
You guys also, to lighten the mood, did shove a watermelon down his throat like a trash can lid.
Mm-hmm.
And now Nikos is standing there feeding him grapes off the vine, like...
Yeah.
Just giggling through the tears over there, just fucking.
Like some kind of stinky Roman.
Yeah, but it's all in jest, so it's cool.
Exactly, yeah.
What time is it about?
You're looking at like late morning.
Hang on. I'm gonna take off my, sash on my coat, and I'm gonna wrap it around Hachu's head like it's a laurel. I'm gonna have to roll through that.
Oh, good lord.
You just standing by and taking this, Hachu?
Oh, it's funny.
He's already getting fed the grapes.
Yeah, come on,
I mean,
it's
I'm
funny.
getting fed, and it's
Yeah.
funny. This is great. I can see why rich people love this.
Enjoy, my lord.
Thank you. Just mocking the posh British accent. I don't know, what are those upper class British folk that we run into a whole lot say? Cheerio.
I don't know how often they actually say that.
Not as often as you would imagine. I hope the food is to your liking.
It's
Big
atrociously
thumbs up for
Boston.
me.
It's perfect.
Perfect. You
If
see
you want
him,
in on this, Ambrose, we could use somebody with a comedically large fan.
he looks to you, unable to emote or express, but you can see where his face scrunches, metaphorically, as he puts his right ankle on his left knee while standing, and then just kind of...
I missed that. My headset decided to take that exact moment to restart.
Yeah,
I heard his face
Nice.
scrunches and then da-da-da-da!
his face scrunches, but it can't really emote, but you can get the notion that he's, like, kind of scrunching his face like, no. As his right ankle goes over his left knee while standing, and then he sits back on an invisible chair and just kind of locks there, like
Huh.
he's sitting down.
Shrug my shoulders. Soothe yourself and keep taking. Take a few more pictures of Hachu being fed grapes.
It would be rather difficult for me to eat, I will admit. And he kind of pokes a pinky against the implied, like, mouth sliver on the armor plate.
Yeah, how does that work?
It doesn't.
If you don't... I mean, surely you expend energy.
A soul of sorts is cast into a mechanical device, what you would call a heart, my pacemaker of sorts, that powers my body. As long as the soul exists, which it does forever, unless some soul magic should destroy it or remove it from me, I will always work.
Oh goodness, that's illegal now.
If I was previously alive, yes. My soul was gathered from a non-existent soul, if that makes a sense. It's a
It doesn't.
artificial soul.
It's
How does that work?
incredibly interesting.
I don't pretend to know or understand. I know I was made among 60 others from a manufactured soul of sorts to serve a military purpose. Once that purpose was over, I was free to go on my way. And I, at that time, had made friends with Levencroft Sr., who found I was very good at organizing books and ledgers where he failed miserably.
Well, glad to have you here, sir, and glad you're grandfathered into this world, because I'm sure you know technology such as, yourself is,
Highly illegal and banned, except for when it is, again, a mechanical or automated process such as myself.
Yes.
I can assure you there's no dead child inside my pacemaker.
I wasn't concerned about that.
I was a little bit.
I understand. Rest assured, the chronomancer who made me was fairly capable at finding soul capabilities from other regions, to my understanding, that wouldn't be borrowed or cause any sort of problems.
He's made of a chicken.
I sure hope not.
That was an out of character
Oh.
joke. Don't take that serious. That was an out of character joke.
So, what do we have on the agenda here, of course? Speaking to I believe the chief of police.
Yes, not the chief. You'll be speaking to the primary investigator for this mission of yours, to my understanding. It's a...
Before we discuss the details, I suggest we eat. What I've read has been not conducive to meals.
I wish I could give sentiment or relation to that, but I do understand you should eat, and then we will discuss that. As far as the process to come up, I will be taking you, to my understanding, from Swinton to DC. You'll be reporting in to your new commanding officer, and I will be overseeing the movement of your personal belongings to those rooms and your new boarding, while you will be returning here to work with the police inspector. I believe it is O'Brien Walsh, with Boston PD. You will be aiding him.
Of course. Sarkavia, do you mind keeping most of the items I've specified and shipped here? I'm not very familiar with the American office, and I've collected a large number of things, and obviously,
I noticed there was a
Collected
fair
a
bit
large
of...
number of hats.
I noticed a fair bit of personal items. Would you like me to keep all of your personal, non-military and service items here at the museum?
yes, please.
That I can do.
And set aside, I've had this idea. I particularly want to eventually have perhaps a display just for myself of my adventures since I left. So I'd like to keep them separate from my own personal items back in my own residence. sort of a, now find a broom closet, you know?
After our briefing and your eating, of course, it was Levencroft Sr.'s request that you be given the suite room on the second floor, his previous room. Of course, you understand it has attached to it a couple smaller side rooms for his own personal use that you would be able to do exactly that with, should you wish.
Well, wow, that's wonderful. Yes, of course, just see the box left in the suite, and I will organize it as I see fit when I have the time to do so.
In his words, I don't sleep, so why wouldn't Torn have the room? To which I can't exactly argue that.
Yeah, me neither. Goodness.
Torn's like looking at the others like, I'm sorry, I have a suite. I don't know. Like,
So what do you do at night when there's nothing to do then?
I
Just curious.
clean, I triple check ledgers. Admittedly, I will be here more often than I have been the last 10 or so years to maintain and fill some of the gaps that Levencroft has left, as the new senior here will be conducting operations with yourselves, so I will be performing some of those duties. However, prior to this change of engagement, I was routinely on that yacht, heading to various places to collect items and purchases that Senior found fit to make. So I had very little idle time that wasn't travel, noting, bookkeeping, and things of the sort. I do not sleep.
Sounds to me as though you were personally invaluable to the running of this place.
The museum would not exist without me. No offense to Swinton or Levencroft or Craven, but without my services, they would not have had the combined brain capacity to organize this with their habits.
I understand. Levencroft Sr. was always the ideas guy.
Barry. And Swinton was always the pragmatist and realist. Craven was always the dreamer and ideologue, and
Tell me about it.
Percy was the hands-on aggressor of sorts. He routinely would try to compete with me to get to the objectives and items first, as I was usually on point.
A little bit of friendly competition gets things done faster, right?
I like to think so, but I feel it may have swayed him against other magical automations.
I mean, there's not many.
Not anymore, no.
Sir, I'm absolutely pleased to have you around. I literally do not know what I would do without you at the moment.
I'm glad to have you back too. Admittedly, the staff were somewhat more, I guess you would call it, heavy-footed at times. There wasn't nearly as much bright discussion, more exclusively business and scientific discussion. Things weren't as cheery, some of them were admitting.
Yes, it's a fine line between showing the world the wonders of it and being able to pay for it.
They seem to greatly enjoy showing it to you. And I think all the staff will be glad to see you back. If not, on a case-by-case basis.
Torn's like wiping a single tear away.
Right, so, right.
You should introduce me to your friends here, who I understand you're Wondrous Company, and you're working with my previous partner, Swinton, who I can only imagine what rings he has you all jumping through. Probably lighting the fire on him himself, I imagine.
goodness, of course. I'm sorry. My manners have I've lost some of them. So first off, the large uh, individual snake on the couch. That's Hachu Johnson. He's a
Yan T, I believe.
yes. Hails from Louisiana. Say hi, Hachu.
Hello there.
No, okay, lose that. Be normal.
Okay, fine, I'll be normal. Damn it.
Aaron just dips a whole thing of grapes into his mouth and then pulls it out stripped.
James, I'll have you know, our mutual furry artist loves drawing big, beefy, monstrous persons. If I tell him Titanic Hachu, he will Titanic Hachu with some grapes.
Jesus.
Don't forget Nico's feeding him
And
then.
Nico's feeding him the grapes looking like a Greek cherub.
And they're holding a whole ass watermelon in another hand.
He kind of gives a nod and a little bit of a head tilt towards Yahachu and then looks over towards the others.
Right, then of course we've got Piotr Troikov here. It's best if you explain it. You're complicated.
I'm Father Choikov. I'm a Orthodox priest and former member of His Imperial Majesty's personal guard.
Ah. So you were present during the Civil War period then?
Ah,
My sympathies. I was part of the considered British Expeditionary Unit until they decided against automations.
on which front?
The detachment that was allegedly to go to northern Russia. At least to my understanding.
I was in the East during the Civil War.
Again, you have my sympathies.
Thank you.
Kind of leans a little bit and tilts his head just some, looking at Nikos, and you could see his eyes give a little bit of that ocular focus on his hair.
Don't mind that. This is
It just does that.
Zagros. Of course, you have the Zagros family of Greece, obviously, was on the Titanic.
Strategos, Nikos Zagros.
Of course. Keep forgetting you're a Strategos now. That's important. That's impressive.
You get paid for that.
He is in charge of the
I don't know.
wondrous company then,
No.
Not exactly.
but he's a general, is he not?
That is for the Greek League, rather. Not Wondrous Company.
Ah. That
No one
makes
in
sense.
particular is in charge here, I suppose, except whoever is giving us orders at the time based on the SOE headquarters and location. We kind of share the weight.
Understandable.
And then, of course, two of our party are away. Of course, Wilhelm Schwartz, I believe he's in Egypt right now working with the land witches in that mess down there. And then, of course, Roy Copeland, he was called away. He's, I'm sure if you've heard of him at least once or twice.
I've
You should-
heard the Copeland name before. We have allied with them for some more secretive shipping endeavors, including the movement of the torpedo ram.
You should send him a letter and ask him for some donations, considering he's about to bankrupt the Confederacy on interest alone.
I'm sorry?
Something we found out in Vienna.
Yeah.
I knew the Copelands were affluent. I didn't think that invested.
I don't think he thought that invested either.
No, long and short of it, the nice lady, I'm blanking on her name right now, in charge of his banking affairs, asked me to perhaps ask him to make a withdrawal because he has too much money in their banks. Is the simple part of it.
When you say Confederate banking lady, are you referring to not Marianne Williams, are you?
Yes, of course. Sorry, it was right on the tip of my tongue. Marianne Williams. Yes. And Leroy and I have sort of an understanding. We're friendly.
Was she accompanied by a Confederate ambassador, perchance?
I believe she was. Yes, I believe.
And you spoke with them. Did they approach you, or did you approach them?
They approached me.
Likely, they may have assumed you were Levencroft Sr. I'm assuming this is during your trip to Vienna?
Well, perhaps, I don't think surely they would have known Senior. I was there in his stead, so I received many questions for Senior in his stead.
It's to my understanding that Miss Emmeline Harper in the Golden Circle Bank has been attempting to contact us for investment opportunities. However, we don't exactly have the finance to invest at the moment. So that does seem interesting that they would approach you, but if you feel they are reasonable and a good investment, then I can open discourse with them at a future time.
Well, perhaps. They seemed quite friendly and helpful. Again, they weren't necessarily interested in my own affairs. Rather, they knew my association with the Copelands and were simply looking to bridge the gap.
They're probably desperately looking for liquid funds in order to cover Leroy's interest.
That would make sense if he, more specifically his family, has that much of an investment. That would make sense why they are. How much has this Leroy Copeland spoken to you about his family's endeavors?
Next to none.
You never really came up.
No, yeah, he hasn't mentioned much of anything, really.
We'll say no more other than the Copeland family name is privately purchasing much of the territory in what was Venezuela under Confederate States control.
Okay.
That may be associated to much of the investments and money.
Well, his bank wants him to withdraw some money either way.
Understandable. I'll see if I can open a financial line of talking with Miss Emmeline and perhaps the Confederate States Bank, and I can see about gaining additional information with the Copelands, perhaps open additional shipping lanes with them, perhaps.
Of course, and of course, feel free to use my name specifically in regards in terms of my relationship with Leroy Copeland. It is fair.
Your name would be used regardless. You are the senior of the family now.
Well, yes, of course, but you know what I mean. I've got a personal relationship with one of them, and a rapport, I guess you could say.
I will see to that then. It's my understanding he has multiple siblings, and with how little I know about Leroy Copeland, I dare to say he may be the more destitute or ostracized of the 5 children.
If he's holding the banknotes, I mean...
The family is holding the banknotes.
I see.
At least to my knowledge. However, you seem to know him more, so I will refrain from further speculation.
I don't think I know him as much as I thought I did.
As far as what we encountered with him, he never wanted for money, but he never talked about money either.
I doubt even somewhat secluded from the family he would even need it.
Well, a man with that much access to money, in theory, wouldn't be going on such operations with us unless he, dare I say, wanted to.
Understandable. Well, aside from speculation of mercantile confederates, what other points of discussion? How is Swinton? I didn't get to speak to him too much.
He's doing well. A bit overwhelmed at times, I feel, running the
Ha.
British branch of the SOE.
He runs the SOE.
Well,
Okay, out of character. He's not running. What's he? Torin would know his title. He's not running it, but he's very high up in it.
He's
is he
field
SOE
director
or
of
is he-
the OSS. Percy is with the SOE.
Oh, right. Duh. Words.
good.
Acronyms getting fucked in my head.
OSS, SOE. That's
Same
so
thing, different
close, you
branch.
know?
sorry,
Exactly.
he's the field director for the OSS out of Greenwich.
Ah. That seems fitting for him. I'm sure he's all a bustle with over-planning everything.
Yes, he's actually been responsible for the majority of our missions up until this point. Now that we've transferred, at least temporarily, to America, I am, I don't know how to feel. I got used to him.
He's If he has a direction and you can keep him pointed at that direction, he is quite effective. But even if it's something as small as, let's step over there, he will give you 20 reasons why to not do so, and then give 30 reasons to overcompensate should any of those 20 reasons show up. He's not the quickest to action because he tries to overplan and be overprepared at times. In comparison
still
to
alive.
Levencroft, it was quite the divide between the two of them.
Well, it just sounds like they balanced each other out. I mean, look at what they've made.
Quite so, were it not for the kobold constantly giving such happy speeches and Percy already being there before the sentence was finished. Swinton was kind of the only voice of reason. I appreciated him greatly.
You do know of Craven's recent escapades, right?
Only vaguely. I understand he has been leading endeavors in Italy and guiding associations. However, both myself and Levencroft were a little difficult to gain any talking with him for quite a while now.
How'd I put this? So I've only learned more about him recently, but we initially ran into him in Italy, and since then he's tried to assassinate me 2 times now. And he's currently trying to destroy the veil between ours and the celestial realm to gain magical power over the gods.
The eyes kind of have a shudder and rotate in place and then open back up slowly. That's... Huh.
It's very problematic.
I would say so. I would expect something like that more out of maybe Percy or Junior, perhaps, not Craven.
Well,
Well, yeah.
in Levencroft's letter, he mentioned that this junior is working with Craven now.
That we are aware of. It was part of Senior's cutting off of Junior, not but a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, how did that go?
It could have gone much better, but the point was made. He was left with a respectable funding and avenues, and was sent on his way. To my knowledge, he made his way to, I believe, New York, where, to our understanding, he is likely deeply associating with the Italian Archaeology Association.
If you could, I'd like you to keep tabs on him as much as you can. Knowing Junior's disposition, he isn't particularly happy about a kobold who isn't blood inherently taking his inheritance out from under him. I'm concerned for, obviously, any form of retaliation.
You see him take what would be considered a kind of long breath in and then kind of short breath out. We are quite well ahead of you in that regard. As much as it was a bit painstaking for a senior, we are rather prepared for that, and have been keeping tabs to ensure. One of Levencroft's requests was that your new family not be taken from you by those who didn't wish to keep it.
Yes, of course. So I feel the need to note that I didn't expect this, and I didn't ask for this. It's a very dirty situation.
Levencroft knew better than to ask you if you wanted this opportunity.
I mean, of course I wanted it in a way, but not like this.
Would you be able to rightly state another way for this to happen?
No.
He kind of opens his palms to both sides, kind of casually.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it, okay?
Senior considered himself to know you rather well, and I think his judgment of your character is rather accurate.
Yeah, of course it is. Hey, let's sell everything and buy stocks in oil.
Kind of tilts his head a little bit, and you can see metaphorical numbers crunching his head.
That was a joke.
Crude
Don't.
or natural oil?
That was a joke. I was joking. I was trying to just put it away.
I do have a clause that bars me from allowing you to do anything drastic of that sort.
Oh, thank God.
Just imagine Torin great, this is all beautiful, sell it all!
What are you, Junior? Oh, God.
This is all amazing. Sell it all. We're moving to Vegas.
I'm gonna live on the beach, baby.
Hey, we could turn this into Rango. He could purchase what's going to be the Vegas Strip.
My God.
Get associated with Copeland and a bunch of the Confederate Mafia. Make New Vegas.
God. No, that's not what he's about. Torin grew up with nothing, and so having a bunch of stuff, it's still it's weird, because it's a bunch of stuff, but
it's a bunch
it's
of
hard
stuff.
to explain. It's more about purpose than ownership and wealth. Yeah.
Kind of looks over to the rest of you. Would you happen to have any other questions for me? I'm not sure how much Torin here has divulged to you about various occurrences or any information or scuttlebutt I may know that I could share with you.
Well, some more information on Junior would be nice.
Yes,
Especially if
we are
he's-
going to be working against him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Not against him.
Torin's just gonna sit back and sigh. He knows what's coming.
Not
Well, if he's working with Craven, then
working for, not so much with. Junior's a little too prideful to say he works with someone. He's very much a one-man show sort. If he doesn't have people working under him, he doesn't feel fulfilled, I suppose. No, he works for the Archaeology Association. He doesn't work with. He refuses to... To my understanding, he sees Craven as a means to wealth and establishment of what he likely hopes to make his own Levencroft branch and name. Which seems odd considering he routinely aims to denounce what the Levencrofts have become and are. As far as Craven, he... and pardon, hopefully no offense be given... He sees Craven as another Tauren, a fancy kobold who Senior takes too much affection in and gave too much goodwill towards. Junior's
sure Craven enjoys
association... Junior is enough of a, I think you'd call it a kiss-ass, to never directly go against Craven. But will definitely not befriend him in any way. I believe he merely sees Craven as a means to an end. Whether he actually agrees with Craven's, what you have only told me now, his want to remove the veil, which is rather extreme, I will admit, for such a put-together kobold. I do not believe Junior will be any threat. If anything, he might be He may be an asset. Perhaps spying or information gathering on him in the way that he does business will aid us in knowing what Craven and the Archaeology Association is up to. At least as far as within America's borders.
I can't imagine him wanting to correspond with me.
Who, Junior?
Yes.
His eyes get a little bit kind of dimmer. Perhaps. Although I doubt... You may be right. I doubt he would wish to speak with you in any capacity. Although I will say, I personally don't believe he will be any further threat to the museum, the Order, yourself, or any of your operations.
Well, that's a relief.
He doesn't seem that petty. I will not put it past him, however, to not give information and knowledge of holdings or items that we have that others may feel are worth stealing or attempting to strong-arm us for.
How's our security looking in that matter?
Quite well established.
Wonderful.
I suppose I should divulge this to you. He kind of looks down at his chest and puts two of his fingers to the top of the left breastplate underneath his shirt and vest and a jacket that he's wearing, and kind of gives a little bit of a tug. Starts to unbutton the vest, unbuttons the shirt, and exposes a very heavily armored, like, knightly-style breastplate and torso, or at least the top half of it. It seems like he's wearing clothes merely as a more casual formality than anything else.
Okay, so you're the security.
Not exclusively. And he kind of starts to pull open and exposes a part of the left breastplate. Roll me a investigation, the four of you. Or perception.
15.
Perception. Nice. Good start.
You got it out of the way.
Nikos,
Yeah, true.
you're completely like, oh, cool, I'm a big mechanical man, huh?
Mechanical man.
Mhm.
Robot.
Torrin and Peter, you see what looks like almost like it kind of looks like a pocket watch with like 2 or 3 rings kind of rotating over where the like clock face would be on it. So it's like a pocket watch, but the top half is rounded and the face of it is rounded, where you get 3 of those alternating Dyson sphere rings kind of spinning around inside that. Hachu, you look at it, I don't know how, but you know, this is a Chronomancer's tool. And with a fucking 27,
That's
it
gnarly.
is specifically the Doppelganger Chronomancy tool. And he kind of looks down at it and gives the outermost ring, pauses its spinning rotation with his pinky for only a second, and then lets go as it speeds up to start spinning again. And you guys are all aware, but whatever you were doing about 3 seconds ago, he is halfway through unbuttoning his vest and pauses and looks up to you and then starts buttoning the vest back up. It's not a problem.
Jesus.
Huh.
You just okay. That was intense.
The experiments I have tried, I have been reliably able to do so within a limited area, and all involved in that area up to about a day. I will admit it takes a fair bit out of me to do so.
So, I guess if I could put it simply, if there's an occurrence and you aren't there, you could make sure you were there.
Precisely. Or, if a fight shouldn't go in my favor, I can isolate it exclusively to me, take myself back, and appropriately address the situation. This is something, however,
terrifying.
that I ask you all to keep exclusively with yourselves, as only 2 other people know of my capacity to use this.
Of course. This is an ace in the hole.
Hopefully Craven isn't one of those 2 people.
He is not.
Thank goodness.
My manufacturer decided a handful of us should be given a bit of a experimental capacity that even I didn't realize I had until much after the Great War ended. My one attempt to use it caused me to find myself back at a particular situation where, should I have not intervened, Craven would have very much died.
Wow. How the
However,
times change.
this is a very sparsely to use tool, as my attempt to read on the findings and public-made documents by the international criminal known as Oliver Doppelganger give reason to show why, just as much as necromancy, chronomancy is very, very illegal.
As it should be.
Start going out.
That said, if you should ever come across a very, very South London British chronomancer who fashions himself a gentleman pirate, try your best to be on his good side. Oliver has become a bit of a vigilante, to my knowledge. His last big exploit, to my understanding, was arriving with some American ranger to thwart a assassination attempt. Rather, 2 of them. However, he was unable to stop the third, it would seem. I believe you would know him as one of the archdukes.
Just processing.
Kind of looks down for a moment, tilting his head, kind of thinking to himself for a moment. So he starts to look back up and does sort of that Midwest, very robotic but attempt at a Midwest hand clap and starts to lean forward. I should not try to overload you with too much information, but to my understanding, we probably should begin deliberating on your mission.
Welp.
Presumably, we're done eating at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad I got a laugh out of that.
Okay. Torn with the Midwest clap.
Torn
You
sec-
slap your knees.
Both of them, yeah. And it has to be a
Mhm.
little bit off so that like the sound is louder.
So, to my limited understanding, of which I voluntarily kept myself out of, there has been a long string of homicides and murders that the first few were rather just belligerently brutal, nonsensical, non-purposed, other than to brutalize and maim bodies. However, as more of them started to occur with no pattern, no rhyme, no association or reason that has at least publicly been made, more started to be noticed and realized. Certain parts of bodies were being found missing. Parts of the hips and grafts of bone, including eyeballs and tongues, have been more commonly removed from these bodies as they are maimed. The only public statement that I have read so far is that all of them have no distinguishing or matching association at all. Their locations have been scattered, their incomes, their work, their nationalities. It seems to be simply a slasher's paradise of just brutalizing any and everyone, and there's no rhyme or reason or pattern to it that has been found. I have only been reading what has been made public, and none of it has been of help.
Are these? Do you know if these cuts are like surgical, like with the Jack the Ripper murders in London?
I have only been able to see one of the scenes as a bystander. However, the general sentiment seems to be it is being done purely through, I guess you would say, friction and tension.
So they're literally ripping body parts out.
Precisely. There doesn't seem to be any bladed or sharpened capacity to these attacks.
That's tacky.
Is that a pun on friction?
No, I mean that's just it's tacky. Like it's brutal.
Oh.
So a regular human likely wouldn't have the strength to do that reasonably.
More than likely, which I will say has led to my own suspicions, as well as a lot of public discourse towards beings of non-human nature who have that sort of strength capacity. Lizard folk, dragonborn,
Mhm.
Goliaths, and
Okay,
giants.
that's doing wonder for the racial tensions discussion.
Yeah, very much so.
Wonderful.
However, the sheer brutality of it seems to even be beyond what any sentient race would be doing, which is starting to give a bit of a scare, I assume, around monsters or beasts. The association of cryptids have become all the talk and scuttle around the city.
You fought in the Great War, correct?
Yes.
So I presume, not to dredge up any bad memories, but you have seen some of the violence that sentients are truly capable of when they push themselves.
Yes.
And you said you saw one of the scenes, correct?
Yes.
Is it at all reminiscent of... That's not the best way to put it. Having seen much violence performed by, for lack of a better term, men, did that look more like the kind of violence perpetrated by men, or the kind of violence perpetrated by a beast?
I have never seen enemy or ally, or myself for that matter, remove limbs from a torso so that the torso could seemingly be brutalized. That is purely from a hatred standpoint that even my logic can't fully comprehend. The word brutality is a bit of a understatement. There doesn't seem to be any other word that describes the just brutality being shown. The only recent purpose behind it is either a affinity for this sort of brutality, or perhaps a only recently caught upon collection with the brutality just being a perk to whoever is conducting this. If I had to guess, but if I could feel fear, I would be rather scared of what could muster itself to have that sort of brutality as a perk, were it not needed.
How do we get to DC? Are we driving?
I will be driving you, yes.
Oh, what? That's actually what, 2-hour drive or so?
Give or take.
Torin makes a face but says nothing.
Did it look ritualistic? The murder scene? Or just violent?
If by ritualistic you mean completely at random, then yes. I can't say the only. The first many discovered, there's suggestion that there's still many that haven't been discovered yet, but the first many discovered sites that match this brutality were always very secluded and hidden in alleyways, or behind buildings, or in the backs of warehouses. Only recently has it become more of a public and easily discoverable spectacle. Around the same time that the discovery of parts and bits have been removed during this brutality. perhaps whatever monster this is realizing there's some sort of purpose to these parts. I couldn't imagine.
So you're saying some of the earlier murders didn't have any of the body parts missing?
To my understanding, no, they were just purely brutality. However, to my understanding, a lot of them were not connected to the same case at first. It was a good month before realization that these murders were all possibly associated, as they all matched the same sort of aggressiveness. As they were put together and made more public, only then was it started to be realized that the recent ones and the newer ones that were found were missing these parts. The first couple could have been missing them as well, just not recorded or known, or maybe not noted. It was only recently that the magical branch investigators and the Boston PD got involved. Before that, it was just the regular police who, dare I say, are wildly out of their league with this investigation.
So they only realized that they had something in common based in the brutality of the murders, not necessarily the class or individual of them.
I can only assume it's because it was spread across 6 different districts, and the districts aren't always giving each other up-to-date information. Again, they have been so widespread and sporadic, there's not even a spiderweb pattern or star pattern that even Jack the Ripper followed a pattern to draw a mental image on the city. There's just no rhyme or reason to these.
How many districts does Boston have?
To the city, way too many. To the police, 6.
So it was spread out across the entire city then.
And just outside city limits, and at sea, and on the docks. Yes.
Well, see,
Even out at sea?
There was one where 2 persons on a small fishing boat were found brutalized in a similar fashion. Their boat
Okay.
washed ashore, assumedly a few days after the occurrence.
I have a slightly unrelated question.
Hmm.
Do you think the Boston BD would be upset if I brought my Browning automatic?
You've not been here for a while, but I can assure you, the Boston PD are still normal police. However, the arcane magic investigators are quite the opposite. I believe they carry... Did you say a Browning automatic?
Surely
Yeah.
your Second
Like the
Amendment should
machine
cover that,
gun.
right?
Like the machine gun, not the pistol.
The one with the large kind of compensator on the end and the odd shape that looks like a short, fatter BAR.
Oh, you've seen it.
They carry monitors, yes.
Oh, they've got what? Monitor. I had this made in Egypt. I mean, mine.
I need to stop underestimating you Levencrofts. I can assure you, the main task force, I think they call themselves, they rival what stories come from the Confederate and Texas Rangers and the Marshals as far as their attire and weaponry.
Of course. Wait, they have compensators? I need to get one of those.
You don't?
No.
With your stature, I would assume you'd probably want one for such a weapon.
Absolutely.
No, it's just mostly spitting lots of fire out of the barrel. we try not to use it at night.
Also, riddle me this. I look back at the picture of Torn with his customized bar, the
Yeah, that's just because Humble drew a
1919K. I like to think that's how it is. Or does it just not have the compensator, but everything else is on
I always
there?
assumed it never had the compensator.
Ah. Okay. It'll eventually be added onto it then. but-
Tor's just gonna be like, can I have that?
You have a spare compensator? That aside, yes, I think they call themselves Maine. I forget what the acronym stands for, but they're rather capable and have given some pretty good assurance in the police force and their investigation.
Wonderful. So, that was my main concern. Is I just, yeah, I don't know quite how things are there. Civilian carrying a military ordnance, might not vibe.
Technically,
Well-
we are military.
Yeah, but
Also, wouldn't you be covered under your Second Amendment, right?
to a certain degree, yes. But still, I mean, no one carries a machine gun down the street unless they have a good reason.
He kind of looks a little bit to the side. And you can see him kind of mentally, thinking and recording to himself. Kind of accruing, a mess of information and memories, and kind of looks back over. It's a little more common than you would imagine within certain corners, but you are correct in your average person is not carrying around Thompsons and BARs and the like.
Yeah, it's like you can, but if you do it, people look at you funny, and the police are like, "Hey, why does this guy have a machine gun right now? He's going to dinner." So it's a bit complicated.
The majority of those who walk around with that armament are of a military or federal or less than savory mafia association, more than not.
Well, I'm doing it. And when do we leave? If there's not any more questions.
As soon as you would wish, I can bring you to DC, allow you to get briefed and setted, and then we can return back here to Boston as soon as possible, and I can bring you to the police station, and you can go from there.
Wonderful. I'm looking
Unless-
forward
Speaking
to
of
a night.
DC,
Unless you would
DM?
like me to give a couple of phone calls to Swinton, and he can tell the OSS to wait a bit longer if you wish to just remain here.
DM, do we have written orders to report in for like transfer orders for?
Transfer orders have already been sent ahead of you. There's no exact arrival date, but your transfer orders and paperwork have already been sent out, yeah. You guys don't have them in hand, though.
Admittedly, I get rather antsy when I don't have something to do these days. So I'd rather keep my mind on a task, if that makes sense.
You're welcome to stay and operate out of here, and I can get in contact with Swinton to inform DC that your arrival will be later upon completion or when you feel satisfied with helping here.
But what needs done here?
Maine is requesting Wondrous Company's assistance in investigating this string of murders.
Right, of course. Sorry, I'm getting my. There's a lot on my mind right now. Yes, of course. Let's.
Did you forget why you came to Boston?
No, I did. I just. So I was under the impression that the OSS headquarters up in DC wanted us to check in first. If we don't have to, that is fine.
The general understanding I was given is, how did Swinton kind of put it? They'll get there when you get there.
Oh, well, in that case, we'll get there when we get there.
They might not be happy about it, but to my knowledge, the Americans are already a little bit perturbed at having to rely on, well, a British-led company, even though almost all of you are Americans.
They'll deal with it.
I'll get in contact with Swinton in a little bit and have him modify the orders and inform them that you'll be arriving at a later time. After all, I'm assuming you would probably like to remain here for a few days while you assist the PD.
I would love to, and of course, I assume we have decent room and board for my companions.
Of course, you, have the master suite, and some of the crew quarters have been empty. They would be able to remain in those rooms and occupy them for the time being at no worry.
Torrance looking to the others like, huh?
Works for me.
Yeah. I'll have no problem with it.
I'd rather not go get caught up in paperwork in DC for 2 days when we can just start on this now.
Entirely understandable. Very well. I'll get with Swinton and I'll get those rooms set up and have them ready for you. I suppose then, if you wish to take a car and head over to the police department, you will be able to report in and begin assisting where you can. Perhaps get a more updated information.
How late in the day is it?
It's late morning, about to hit noon or so.
Okay, yeah, so we actually do have, time to do things. I thought, in my mind, for whatever reason, it was 6 o'clock in the evening.
No.
I was I'm not sure I want to drop by the PD.
Yeah.
This late.
It's weird to cry in the morning. That's what put you off.
Nobody cries in the morning.
Now that I think about it, it kind of is.
Yeah, usually you don't cry in the morning. Usually it's an evening afternoon thing.
It's like drinking coffee at 7. It's like, what are you doing?
Of course, I can, I'll drive.
I do recommend you take one of the Chrysler 6s, particularly number 2. It needs to have a few miles put on it.
Do you have an American license?
I could now.
Speaking of, I should actually gather that. Allow me a few moments.
Excuse me, what?
He stands up and walks out of the room, and after about a minute or so comes walking back and holds out to you, Torin, a kind of looks like a single folding billfold, and hands it out to you.
Good Lord, what is this? Did you actually go and do it?
He opens it.
Torin, add to your inventory a Confederate ID, a Confederate voter's ID, an American ID, an American voter's ID, a Boston driver's license, a Florida driver's license,
What?
Tennessee driver's license,
I'm gonna add this later.
a American and Confederate boating permit, a Confederate weapons permit, and then a handful of various accoutrements and some money, and basically every ID you would possibly need for American and Confederate travel.
Holy identification. Did you went out of your way to do all this paperwork for me?
Senior saw to it himself, actually.
Do you have a pilot's license in there?
I don't believe he did that. I don't think he was aware you were flying anything, but
I flew the plane here.
I'm fairly certain a quick test would allow you to obtain that. If you would wish, I can look into the avenues to get you at least a American pilot's license.
Oh, I'd love that. Yeah, set that up.
I will see to that then.
Oh, thank you. I've never had IDs before. This is great. Florida? Wait, why do I have a Florida driver's? What? Do I need a Florida one?
The Confederate states operate with a different licensing than the American states do, sir.
Of course. Well, thank you. I don't know what to say.
He kind of steps over to the side, like the side of the chair, and kind of like you see his eyes shift color from like that dull green to a little bit of a bluish, and he kind of awkwardly tries to like lean forward just some and extends his arms out like, is a hug acceptable? Like he's offering a possible hug. He's like, is this okay?
Yeah, sure.
The most awkward hug ever ensues.
Very robotic hug. He gives small hug, leans back up. I was informed by a senior to practice that. I still don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, me neither, not really. But I mean, it was a.
I like the idea that they both hugged in the same way, like an awkward robot. Like,
Yeah, good job.
Just-
It was,
Click from Peter.
Aw.
Everybody wanted to get group hug.
What is that?
yeah, what is?
There's a camera.
No, the group hug.
Well, it's a hug,
People
but
do that.
as a group.
What people do that?
I mean,
Usually it's very
sometimes.
awkward.
I'm not doing that.
I feel like that's a Yanti thing that I'm not familiar with, so I'm going to see to your rooms. You obviously have the grounds and all the available assets. I'm sure you'll be able to find your way to the police station rather easily.
Of course, I still do remember the street layout.
Till I see you all then a little later. Best of luck. And he'll turn and boop, 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 walk his way on out.
You know, I like him.
Yeah, he seems alright.
So what exactly is he?
But we went over that.
So I'm sorry.
He was over there too busy eating grapes.
It's a machine built from the arcane sciences for the World War One, and I mean the Great War, and
What?
damn it!
Huh? What?
and
There's a
he's
two?
got a soul built, a machine built around his soul. That it's complicated. I didn't quite retain all of it.
You could say he's forged for war.
All right.
Nikos gets it. Not too much different from the walking machine gun platform. Except it can think.
But what do you say we go?
It's like the battleship, except it's actually useful.
Uh-huh.
What do you say we go for a drive?
All right.
Nicholas, have you ever driven before?
No.
Nikos, do you have diplomatic immunity?
I don't know.
Can you convincingly pretend you have diplomatic immunity?
You have
I mean, I don't know
religious
if it's
immunity.
a good idea.
I don't think that applies to the Orthodox in Boston. If anything, there'll be a Catholic priest throwing rocks at me.
Alright, Nicholas, let's go. You're driving.
I don't think that's a good idea. Especially not in the city.
You'll be fine. The clutch isn't too hard.
Well, Don't ask me to drive.
Oh god, trying to work it.
Oh,
We might run into some issues if you do that.
We all saw how that went with the tank. Yeah, you guys make your
Don't
way
look at
on
me. I
out.
only know how to ride a horse.
Oh god, yeah. A small
San
idea hit
Francisco
me
hates streetcars.
as I prep the next scene. What if we do a heist and steal Austria's tiny ghost stone battleship and find a way to plug it into the pocket river torpedo ram?
What?
Make the torpedo ram autonomous and living.
Jesus, no. Oh god.
This is my summon. Get him!
Autonomous and living and shy.
And shy.
You go into the engine room and there's a little fucking battleship like plugged in with a bunch of electrodes to fucking like this grand mainframe.
Imagine a
It
big
wouldn't be in the
battleship
engine room, it
being
would be
like,
on the bridge.
Don't call me cute. I'm not good looking. Fires its guns.
No, it's not a tsundere. It's just like normal shy. Like, oh, people are looking at me. Hide behind the nearest pier.
You're back. Gotta use the bathroom.
Yep, bath and break.
How much of a body do you need for Speak with Dead?
A working jaw.
I'm good. I'm back.
Is that it? Is that all you need?
Essentially, the mouth has to be able to work to speak. Hello.
Oh, welcome back.
Alrighty. Nico's driving, and all of you hopping inside the nice Chrysler 6, which I'll grab a picture here. They're very pretty.
So Nikos has never driven before?
I have not. So which
Maybe
one's the
this is
brake?
not such a
Which
good
is the
idea.
gas pedal?
Wait, okay, no, the clutch is on
Are
the
you
left.
sure
You need
you
that
don't
to
want to
shoot
drive?
The brake pedal's in the middle, and the gas pedal is on the right. See that little stick on your right there? You put your right hand on it, okay? Now,
All
you-
right.
You've got 4 gears. You've got to depress the clutch to get it into gear, and then you've got to let it on timing with the gas pedal perfectly in order to get it to move properly, and then you have to use the clutch between gears.
Give me give me dexterity, Nikos. The car powers up, you guys all hop inside, and it does that nice, starts to pull forward, and then you hear a little bit of a scrape as the right running board scrapes against the hood of the other car as he pulls out.
Oh!
Or not the hood, but the front right bumper corner of the other car.
It'll buff out. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh no! Man, my big ass not fitting in this damn car. I'm looking at a picture of it.
Look, we've got insurance. I think we're fine.
As you guys eventually pull out and start making the turn, heading up the little drive that comes from the garage, and you loop around to the front, and it eventually connects to the front circle loop around the fountain.
Now, if anyone gets in your way, you gotta you press in the middle of the wheel. You hear that's the horn, and then you yell out the window at them and flip them off if they say anything to you.
As you guys start to carefully circle around the fountain that is now running once again, and find your way to the front entrance, you come to a stop. As
A very jerky stop.
very jerky.
He stalls it when it stops.
Torin, roll me history.
Oh.
Torin remembers, and he's able to give you the rough directions. It's like a right, head down a mile, left, right, and then like another left type deal. Like you'll be able to remember the rough through streets to get down there. Nikos,
Yes.
give me another dexterity if you would. It's not a great start off, but you guys all crammed inside, all
I
kind of
was
watching
so hoping for an at one there.
Nikos
This thing
drive.
wrecks into a fucking fire hydrant.
It'd be so funny.
There's the occasional moment where you got a little bit of that steering wheel drift that he's trying to like get familiar and compensate with, so he's kind of swerving into the opposite lane every so often. And every
He's
once in a
gotta-
while, your white wall kind of bumps the curb and just kind of...
No, he's gotta stall at once in an intersection and like, you know, panic because everyone's honking at him.
Huh?
It's like, no, sorry, like
Roll me another dexterity.
just imagine Nico's panicking for the first time in his life because he stalled at a red light.
Yeah, as you come down a street, you see you end up going through the intersection a little bit jerky, and there's a car up ahead of you as you try to start slowing down and downshifting, and then you eventually slip and you go into the wrong gear and you're having a rough time with it. You hear a little bit of grinding and you just start pressing the brake harder and harder.
You're lugging it. You're lugging it.
As you come to a nice stop about 6 inches behind a car where you could have reasonably, as normal drivers, stopped a lot sooner, but the guy standing outside his car looking at something ahead of you kind of looks back and has this sort of like, what the hell, why are you parking so close to me kind of look, even though he's sitting in the middle of the street.
Hey, get out of the damn road!
Kind of looks forward and ahead, looks back to you. Hey, fuck you, buddy, the road's blocked.
Hey, fuck! Wait, why is the road blocked?
I don't fucking know, the
Huh.
cops are over there, you tell me.
What the fuck?
Let me move you guys to the next thing, where the visible section will be in the top right.
Just the immediate boss. No, fuck you. Wait, really? Shit, what's up?
As you guys kind of pile out, you see guys kind of going back to leaning against his hood and just kind of looking forward. You can see ahead of you a mix of bystanders and people kind of standing around talking in a little group, and you can see what looks like a police line is being established by some Boston police down the way. None of the sirens
You know,
are going,
sir,
but there's red lights
You
kind of
look
blinking.
very familiar. Have we met before?
I ain't
I
seen
swear
a
I've seen
Ganassi
you.
before in my life.
You saw the fucking Austrians again.
I'm still making background character tokens. Fuck you.
Sorry, buddy. I was teaching my hoplite to drive. Okay.
Surprised they
Yeah, it
trust,
was
you know, at least he didn't bump me, so fine, but just maybe teach him a little better, you know?
Hey, look. If he can form a full 24-man Greek phalanx, he can drive a car. Okay.
I'm gonna pretend I know what the fuck that is.
He's
Fuck
amazing. He
you.
can form a whole 24-man phalanx with himself.
Oh, good. A kraut.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
He's not German.
Oh, me? No. I'm Russian, not German.
Yeah, whatever. He goes back to leaning against his car. You hear some of the other people standing off to the side. They're kind of talking to each other, like, "Wow, that's crazy! Like they were just walking yesterday," and like little scuttlebutts going on. And one of the Boston police walk up to you. He's got his billy club kind of in both hands. Hey, hold on. Who exactly are you weirdos?
We're here for the. Who are we again? Do they
I don't
again?
know. Looks like a kobold, a waterman, a fucking snake, and whatever Eskimo man here is.
I am a priest. Bless you, my son.
Gesundheit. Can I help you all?
So,
Actually, we are supposed to be helping you. We were supposed to speak to whoever is in charge of Maine. Let me check my notes.
Those weird magic cop officer peoples?
We're
Mhm.
supposed to speak with a Special Inspector Connor O'Brien Wall.
Oh, then. You know, I tell you what, wait here. Hey, Private, watch them. I'm gonna go get the mic. And one of the other cops kind of looks over towards you guys, just kind of watching you. He doesn't seem to be enthused to be there. He's got his kind of Boston Billy Club hat and club on his hip and like a small little revolver on his side. And you see him walk back
Oh.
behind the cop car and go over to one of the other cops, and you see a guy wearing crush cap, got big old ginger mutton chops, trench coat, who's kind of looking down at something, looks over, and they're talking to each other quietly for a few moments.
I like your hat, sir.
No, do not get started with this right now.
Are you one of them kobold things?
You could say that, yeah.
Yeah. Mom had one of those before. They're interesting until they steal from you. You're not one of those stealing types, are you?
I'm more of the owning type, but really your mother had a kobold.
Well, sort of a butler, kind of housekeeper of sorts, until he was starting to steal a bunch of stuff. A lot of kobold
Understandable.
thieves around these parts.
I mean, they are predisposed to it. I'm sorry you had that experience, sir.
Yeah, at least it's not the goblins.
Mhm.
Kind
Here.
of sways back and forth a little bit at the hip, kind of just looking out to the distance, trying to like, these guys are weird. I don't want to be here on this duty. And eventually, you see the very Irishman with his trench coat and a quasi-police attire, and the other officer come walking up, and very quickly he walks straight up to you, Peter, extends a hand out. Ah, Father, glad to see you here.
I haven't met this guy before, right?
Nope.
Alright, I'll reach out,
You
shake
know
his
him?
hand. Pleasure to meet you. Inspector O'Brien Walsh, I presume.
Yeah, precisely. I'm assuming you're the Wondrous Brigade, Brigade Company peoples, right?
Company, but close
ah.
enough.
Yeah, whatever it is. A group of people. I actually kind of need your help here. Yeah, come right this way. Out of the way. Out of the way. And the cops kind of step off to the side and give a couple, like, whatever type of snickers as he starts walking down with you this way. And leads you towards the entrance of the alleyway, and instantly just goes over and takes a knee next to what seems to be two bodies under tarps that another cop is kind of writing notes on one. And just very haphazardly pulls the covering down on the first one. It's not a great sight. The seems to be a female human. However, nearly the entire jaw, like the lower half of the head, is just gone. The eyes are gone in a very slashing pattern. There's lacerations all over, and there seems to be you can't see it under the tarp, but it seems like a lot of parts and brutalization was done. And he's just kind of looking at it a bit casually. Yeah, so what do you make of this?
Wow, she's pretty dead.
Pretty dead. Another
I
one
heard
of those...
they were
Yeah, glad
mutilated, but it's
Yeah, pretty
something
mutilated.
to see it.
Yeah,
curious.
The other body's even worse. The third body back there we haven't even attempted to pick up yet. This is the first time they went after three at once, whatever it is.
It's a good thing I'm not squeamish. I mean, I've done worse with a machine gun.
Did all of them have their jaws removed? Jaws removed.
No, this is actually the first one. The other poor sod has his jaw. I guess they were in a rush with this third. Maybe they didn't plan on running into three and just wanted to get the one in the back of the alley. I assume maybe these two stumbled upon them.
Does it extend further out this way, or do we not get to see that?
As you guys look over, you can see where the alleyway goes a bit further and seems to round the corner. I'm still getting some of the notes here with the coroner. Obviously, I hope you know, don't go touching nothing, but we got another officer back there looking at the other body. Feel free to get your eyes filled as you need to, and then come
Can I
back
roll
over here.
Arcana on these two to see if there's any magical traces?
Yeah.
Can I get Hachu to do it as well?
Sure. What's up, Thor?
Oh, he's just gonna ask O'Brien.
So to be clear, you believe the one further down the alley?
I'll take a look on that too.
The intended victim and these two simply, perhaps,
Nope.
got in the way.
Well, judging by the footprints and the location of where these two are killed compared to the third one, yeah, I dare say they walked in at the wrong moment and caught the eye or whatever was doing all this. As the three of you are kind of overlooking that body, Hachu, yeah, you're the only one really able to get any magical sense off this. As from what you can tell with that 14, there's no magical trace of anything to this body. This was purely melee by hand done.
What are you looking for, Hachu?
Well, there wasn't magic used in this.
There wasn't.
No, somebody did this.
With a lot of
With,
purpose and a lot of dedication, it would seem.
Was there magic use in
Yeah,
this?
with their hands.
Damn.
That
Torn.
or a lot of strength.
Torn steps in front of you a little bit and leans down towards the body as he's still kind of covering it. And Torn, yeah, you look at it, you try to, with your new magical understanding and history and study, yeah, there's, going off the direct example you would have of the Snellergeist, you could tell there was a magical kind of remnant to what it did because it specifically used magic to rip the soul from the body. This has no magic to it at all. This was purely bludgeoning muscle and strength and just grip.
No, Hachu, you're right. No.
I've-
At all.
I'd like to look and see if I can see whether or not it was just something like gouging, like claws or hands or knives or
Roll
what.
me
That,
medicine.
can I argue for advantage on the fact that I've seen many bayonet and sword and knife cuts throughout my life?
I'd say yes.
Can't wait for the
Especially
double twos.
being a doctor and all and being a medicine kind of healer.
14.
Ooh, nice. So
Actually, hang on.
what you're able to gather, and let me...
I think I might get.
Don't you have some sort of bonus to that as well? Aside from a possible advantage?
Blessed Strikes isn't gonna do it. Soldier of Divinity isn't gonna do it. No. No, it seems I actually don't. Unless I have an item, which I don't think I do. I get +2 to all magical involved saves. And Arcana checks.
Nice. I'll DM this to you as you kind of look at specifically around the head, the eyes, and some of the upper part of the chest.
Uh, Are there any teeth marks?
Give me investigation.
Off advantage. Nope.
If there were, you couldn't tell.
Hachu, in your life, have you ever, like, torn into barbecue or something?
I've seen what a gator does to somebody.
No, you yourself. Because that
Well,
Those wounds to me look almost like what I would expect you to be capable of.
What do you?
I mean, I wouldn't say
suggesting?
that next to. I wouldn't say that right next to the cops, but hey, knock yourself out,
You
Peter.
weren't even in the United States when this happened. It's obviously not you.
Isn't this the big old black and red snake with that Huey Long fella? You know, the one that
If I
tried
say
to take
no,
a shot
will you
at
stop
him?
asking questions?
Oh, you were all a buzz in the news for a while. I recognize you. I'm sure a lot of the others recognize you too. At least they cleared and found out it was someone just looking like you. I hope.
Yeah, because we were
Yeah, I had a real
overseas
fun
at the
time
time.
figuring that one out.
An alibi, right?
That's a good alibi. I won't question it. I'm not too worried, nor can I care. I'm up here in Boston. I don't really care what happens down south. Anyways, I see
Alibi
you're
is
kind of looking at
cold.
this. Why are you giving? Well, you suggesting what? A reptile did this?
Well,
Kind of. I mean, I'm gonna
fuck.
take a look at it, kind of gesture to the points that I noticed and make the comparison that it looks kind of like a Yanti's hands did this, or something close.
Can you lower your head real quick?
True.
I mean, possibly.
You're not.
I'm curious. Could you lower your head down here, like real quick? I'm just for curiosity.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna like grab him by the jaw and like look at his teeth and shit.
All two of them that retract and like extend when he opens his mouth.
Yeah,
I
he's gonna
figured he
like,
has a bunch
try
of
to
small ones too.
cross compare that with what's on the body.
There is no way the 6 to 8 inch long fangs that retract and detract did anything on this body.
What about the smaller ones?
It's not the teeth. Definitely not a snake bite. Sorry.
He's gonna like pat him on the face, like shove his head back up.
Fairly certain his kind eats their prey after they beat him up, right?
You could have at least asked me.
I did ask you to lower your head.
That would
okay.
require this to be killings for food as opposed to
Harvesting
other
for what seems to be eyes, the tongue. I guess they just decided the whole jaw would be due for this one, and yeah. Same for the other body, it's missing the same parts.
Could it be voodoo? Perhaps.
I haven't ruled it out, but I'm also not very familiar with a lot of the more dark magical practices, a little bit more Nordic associated, if you know what I mean.
What do you think, Hachu?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing.
Roll me a history, Hachu. Hey, let me DM you real quick.
Perfectly average.
That's all we get here. Crap or average.
Or really good.
Only when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's the way.
Can't wait to see what that would look like in a bar graph and zigzags up and down the whole damn way.
Kind of looks to you expectantly as Hachu's kind of leaning in and focusing on the body.
Well, I mean, voodoo usually focuses on like fingers, organs, and like animals mainly. And you know, eyes and tongues ain't really part of that.
Didn't he roll that with advantage because he practices voodoo?
He got high enough to have an understanding that That would be what it was. He only needed to roll like a 5 or a 6, probably.
So you're saying it probably not then?
Highly doubtful.
Good to know.
It would be a really crap ritual afterwards.
Well, we gotta continue looking over these bodies, writing down all the marks we can, and Coroner here has got his hands full, so yeah, perhaps if you want to take a stroll, avoid some of the blood and any of the direct stuff. Try not to step in any existing footprints, but if you want to meet with my other officer, he's back with the third body. That's the main one to focus here.
So the footprints just stop here?
Give me perception, Peter. Torn, what are you doing?
Fuck.
Nico's. Peter, you're a little mixed. You're like, wow, these buildings, and there's like clothes hanging on lines outside the windows. This is crazy. It's like St. Petersburg. Mikos, though, yeah, you look down, you can see where there's some footprints in the mud and dirt, and that is settled on top of what used to be stone work and the like. But you can see pretty clearly what seems to be a bare footprint and a shoed footprint that is walking away from the edge of a bloodstain around the corner. Torn, what are you doing?
Someone was in. There's one barefoot, like they weren't wearing shoes, and then one shoed one, but they do just stop. Though.
So it was a bear footprint?
They just come to a stop. Human footprint.
Like-
if you zoom in real close,
like
you'll be able to see it.
Barefoot, not bare foot. Yeah, no,
leading to an entirely different.
Christ.
No, a bare foot, not a bear foot.
I did the same thing too for a second.
Yeah, it's a cow farm. There's gotta be cows. It's exactly what it is.
So, no, Torin has climbed up on the hood of this car, and he's pulling out his spyglass and looking through it down the alleyway.
One of the officers is walking up to you kind of quickly. Down, shoot, down from there. No, don't get on there. Nope, that's down. That's evidence.
No, I need this perspective.
For what? What are you gonna do? Spy the future?
I was hoping the past.
What?
Just be quiet for a second, please.
He says as he's like looking through it.
He looks back to the other officer
Oh my
who's giving a shrug like, I don't fucking know, dude. Kobolds, what?
It doesn't work. Okay.
Do you remember what the
officer to do it?
You remember what the roll is that you had to get, right?
It's 18 or above,
Yep.
I believe. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Are you magically inclined in any way?
No, I ain't magically inclined. I can barely do a card trick.
But just, you know what? Try, look through this anyways. Just try. Here, maybe.
Oh, okay. He'll take it kind of carefully and look to you, look back to it, raise it up, looks through.
Roll Arcana for him.
He starts to lean in a little bit.
He did not get over
His
an 18.
mouth
No
starts to
fucking
hang
way.
open some.
No way! No!
Wow, I've never seen Inspector O'Brien Walsh so closely before. This is amazing. And closes and hands it to you with a dry face.
Oh, fuck off.
Did I hear this from over here?
Yeah, you guys can hear this pretty clearly.
It's a magical spyglass. You used it wrong.
That's what has me distracted, not the buildings.
Yeah. Oh, magic spyglass, huh? And your
No.
claws scraping the paint on the murdered people's car. Yeah, that's doing us great.
I'm not scraping the paint. I'm very dexterous.
Off the hood, sir.
How many times are you gonna let me roll?
I'll let you have a second roll to try again.
It's gonna
Nope.
get tackled off the hood, isn't he?
Make me a
Torn,
deck
get
save.
off the hood.
Deck save, Torn.
20.
You quickly backstep and are able to slide down the side of the hood back to the floor as two hands try to grab you by the midsection.
Hey, watch! I do not like being picked up.
Don't climb on things you aren't meant to climb on. Now go join your friends. Friggin' main inspector magic weirdos.
Excuse me, that's...
Well, now that Nikos has shown me exactly where they end, can I roll to see if there was any magic used here, like Dimension Door or Misty Step?
Roll me Arcana to do a magical sensory.
I'm
Would you-
joining in that too.
Two magically inclined people care to
Let's
join me?
go!
Oh.
I don't need to.
Hachu doesn't need to. He just is. Yeah. Peter, you're kind of looking, trying to get a sense of it. You're not really picking up any magic. Nikos, you close your eyes, and you can tell there's small trace amounts of when you really focus. Like, you can tell when there's, like, a burn mark or a divot in the ground if a portal was used, or you could kind of see part of this tracking where if, like, polymorph was used or something. There's not an ounce of magic here.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
To add
And
to
why?
that,
Well, there's no magic.
are there any marks on the wall?
Yeah, I was right about to say that too.
Investigation as you guys turn your attention to the wall.
19.
4.
14.
45.
Whew. Torn and Hachu, you guys turn your attention a little bit higher up, whereas Peter and Nikos, you're looking a little bit lower down and at eye level on the walls. Hachu especially, probably just because of your height, and Torn, being short, you're used to looking upwards. You can see where the corner here doesn't directly go up to a rooftop. It's not quite pictured, but there's basically, you know those, like maybe foot-wide half rooftops underneath windows that you got per like each level of a building. The corners of it are, of the little platelets there, are pulled off those really thin kind of what are they called, shingles, like the little half-inch thick shingles. The 3 edge ones have been pulled off and are down in the mud and the dirt, and there's a little bit of a scraping at the corner where it looks like something tall may have grabbed it while staggering forward for stability.
It appears they've climbed the wall. You following this, O'Brien?
He puts the tarp back over, puts his hands in his pockets of his vest, starts walking over, looks up at the corner. I don't think something climbed. I think it was tall enough it maybe needed that for support.
Well, then where'd it go?
You know what?
Looks-
Hang on,
And why would the footprints just stop here?
You know what? I'm going up. Nikos, throw me up there.
hang on. There we go.
Is there any way to get up?
Hachu's way ahead of you. He just starts slithering up the wall to get next to it and looks at it. Hachu, investigation.
Thank God. If I got up there and got like a 4, I would have been really upset.
Hachu, like a chameleon, just kind of gets up the wall, slithers up it, looks over, and periscopes his head sideways, focusing at that spot. Yeah, you're able to tell nothing climbed up it or put weight on it. It's no different than when you trip and you grab the corner of like a counter or like a table and there's a magazine and the magazine gets ripped off because you're falling forward. The same thing happened here. Something was walking forward, grabbed that corner for stability, scraped its claws, and pulled some of the tiles off with it.
I go all the way up to the top roof, to the roof.
Alright, you get up onto the top rooftop. Let me reveal the area.
I want to be up there. Just
So,
Nikos, throw. Come on.
are those holes like?
If you're
They're not
sure,
supposed to be there
alright.
now. It's
No, don't
Okay.
don't
That'll
throw
damage
him. You
the-
might damage the roof.
That's true.
Is there an obvious path like from the whatever it was on the roof?
Give me another investigation. Although this one will be a lot easier to meet because you already had that 25. 20. You look from
Plus
that point,
9.
and you kind of slither around and look up there. Nothing was on the rooftop. It looks like something merely reached up to stabilize itself, implying that it was 8 to 10 feet tall and used literally the corner of the roof as a brace while staggering forward in the alleyway.
You know, yeah, there's nothing up here, but yeah, I think whatever it is, it's got to be like 10 feet tall.
How did no one see that?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
We only just moved the bodies. This happened, assumedly, a couple hours ago.
Does anybody live around here?
Well, we're slowly getting around the cordoning off the area, and we're gonna start asking the occupants here and see who was around the last while, if they heard or saw anything. But that takes a little bit of time, you know?
Decent amount of people gathered over here. I'm gonna kind of stand off, and I'd like to see if I can detect any magic amongst them.
Roll me Arcana. Is Torn and Nikos, I'm assuming you guys are walking further down the alley.
That's actually a 17, because I have a +2 to Arcana as well.
As you kind of look over the crowd with Hachu up on a high position, there is no magic among these onlookers. They're just kind of looking and watching. They might be some of the occupants of nearby houses and businesses. They're just looking.
See anything else up there, Hachu?
Oh god, Hachu's going across the roof. Let me reveal the alleyway and plaza. As you guys walk along it, Hachu gets to his altitude position.
No, there's the other body they were talking about. Oh, that's a mess.
Nikos and Torin, perception rolls, please.
You got it.
I'd like to, when they're done, I'd like to ask the inspector
Alright.
something.
As you two are walking, you can see where some of the bloody mixed footprints that leave the initial drag pit looks like something was bloodlet and drug a little bit before it walked away. And as you get further down, there's no real damage or scrapes or real fight. There is just a lot of evidence of small puddles of bloodletting. There's a little puddle off to the side. There's a larger kind of splatter and spray where something was just bludgeoned or mashed. As you get further down to the very end, you can see where there's more of a kind of bloody, muddy drag of a body. And as you get to the end, you see an officer there, not seeming too delighted, kind of looking over a now very blood-soaked, what you can assume to be a lump of a body.
Well, that's delightfully horrid.
Well, I'm
I
assuming
think it's
you're
been more than slightly.
part of the main task force?
Yes.
We are.
You mind if we remove the sheet?
Do what you want to do, but some of the body might peel up with it. I've stopped touching it since then.
Oh, you're great.
Do you have any gloves?
Kind of looks down, looks back over, and you can see where there's some red fingertips where he's having to be very careful with pinching things.
No. Okay.
Okay, whatever. I have talents. It's fine. Just
Torrens kind of pull back the sheet.
Give me a dex save, or not dex save, sleight of hand, Torn.
16.
Very unfortunate scene where, kind of like peeling a, facial mask off. As you pull the sheet up, some of the face and tissue of the Gallagher watermelon head kind of peels up with it. And there's sort of those strings of, unfortunate sinew and not great time as you do that. And it kind of takes the face with it.
You destroyed evidence by putting the sheet on it. Ugh.
Would you rather it just stay exposed, then?
Well, there's no one here to see it but us. So yeah.
Points up towards, the 8 windows overlooking the alleyway.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't look.
Regardless, do whatever you magical types do. I'm gonna get me a little bit of air. And he kind of walks over and leans up against the barrel. We'll pan over to Peter really quick. Peter, what's you consulting Brian O'Walton?
I'd like to ask him what he thinks. Well, two things. One, does the one shoe match either of the two other victims? And two, how tall does he think the person who made the tracks was, based off their stride?
Kind of looking at them, and then looking at the two bodies, you can see the bottom of the feet sticking out from both those bodies. They both are still wearing their shoes. The female's wearing very up on the front of the foot with very pointy high heels, and the male's wearing your typical, like, leather dress shoes with a very flat, snub-nosed front nose to it. The shoe down in the ground looks like what you would assume to be water boots, like those big, meaty, like, fishing boots that you put on over your normal boots. Just very flat and wide.
Like
Called ship
galoshes
boots.
or whatever?
Ship boots, that's it. Thank you. I was missing the word for them.
That's not what they're really called.
Something like
Like
that.
galoshes or whatever?
Galoshes, that's it, yeah. Those big, thick rubber boots that, like, the crab fishermen put on over their normal boots with their coveralls type deal. Give me investigation, though, as you look at the other footprint. Hey, that's good enough. Looking at it, you can tell, contrary to what the picture is, it is muddy, it is kind of mixed, but the main part of the foot seems similar enough to a human's foot with, like, the arch and the heel. However, there's only 3 toes in the front, and what looks like what could kind of be a dew claw coming off the back right of the heel on every other footprint. Connor kind of leans in next to you and looks at it, starts rubbing his mutton chops with his finger and his thumb. That's a footprint, all right. What does it look like?
I was asking how tall you think whoever made this would be based off the stride.
He kind of stands up and will walk parallel with the feet, trying to take the same steps. Well, I'm only 5'8", so he could be 6.5 foot, maybe 7, or just taking very small steps. Can't quite tell.
How tall is Nikos?
Aren't you like 6'4", Nico?
6, something like that.
Because Leroy's like 6'2", and you're a little bit taller than him. So yeah, I think like 6'5"-ish, somewhere in that area.
I'm like 6'0", 6'1".
Yeah.
Yeah, hey Nikos, when you get a chance, can you come back over here?
All right.
I realized I should have transitioned it back to investigation music. My bad. Overtly casual poking. You're calling Nikos back while Torn's looking at the body.
Yeah, I'm presuming Hachu is. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm presuming he's over there.
He's up on the rooftop, kind of overlooking the alleyway. We'll get to those two here in a moment. We'll do your scene with Nikos, and then we'll give Torn and Hachu a chance to investigate. Then we'll call the session there.
Yeah? What do you need?
Yeah.
Take a shoe off and see how closely that matches your walking stride. Try a few different patterns.
All right. Now, try to like a more hurried one, a more casual.
Give me perception, you two.
And just.
Can we also get it from the,
Yeah,
Inspector?
I'm rolling for him as well. Oh, he only got a 3. Damn, he didn't do super great. Yeah, Peter, he's making footprints. They are kind of the same. Nikos, the only one that looks even remotely close to this, there's no natural gait, there's no even spacing, there's no pattern at all. This is the most staggered, inward pointing foot, outward pointing foot, drunken, borderline zombie stupor you have ever seen that is actually really hard to, like, match.
It's really erratic. Like, shambling almost.
I dare say it's neither of theirs, and it's not the first victims. He still has both of his shoes on, so I don't know whose it is, and I don't know anybody or anything that walks like that, but that foot is a little interesting. It might be missing a toe.
With the body parts missing, I think necromancy might be involved, especially with the almost shambling.
Yeah, you
Problem
think,
is we didn't pick up any traces of, or we didn't sense any magic related to it, did we?
you think maybe
No.
a ghoul or something doing this?
It could be that,
Would
like,
Would we have sensed it if it was a ghoul?
You would have, possibly.
Tell me, Inspector, what have you ruled out?
Almost nothing other than it being a human. More speculation and idea seems to be leaning towards something of a monstrous variety, but that's about all. As you guys are looking at that, we'll pan over. Torin, you're peeling the face mask with the sheet off of this unfortunate younger dude's body. And
Is his head,
Hachu, you're
like,
kind of
gone?
overlooking.
Like graped gone?
It's there in the sense of, you ever make like a ball of Play-Doh and then push down on the ball with your palm to like flatten it out?
Yeah. okay.
Essentially that happened. It's still in place in the same way that all the bones are porcelain cracked powder, but the face is still, the head is still a head, like the flesh is, it's a
Yeah.
fleshy water balloon.
Oh, this is lovely.
Can I roll investigation on what the fuck?
Yeah.
15.
If you had to take a gander, a large, wide, flat limb, maybe a hand, maybe a foot, maybe even a shield was used, something large and flat was used to just rapidly impact it, but not with enough to fully squish, just enough to do what it needed to do, which was water balloon the head.
Hachu, could you come down here, please?
Yeah, hang on.
He
Torrin's gonna look
slithers
back
on
at the
down.
officer and be like,
Sir, if you wouldn't mind stepping around the corner, you're not going to want to see this.
Puts his hands up to either side. Alright. Walks on over and leans up against the wall, lights a cigarette.
Hey, Hachu, wake him up.
Alright. Just wave my
I'm gonna
hand
call the
over him.
officer over because I want to ask him more questions.
Alright. We'll get to that next session. But we'll do the last part with you two. So what are you casting, Hachu?
Once I figure out what level spell that actually was. There it is.
Ah, Spirit Dead. Alright. So, does have a mouth, sort of. Spell fails.
that's why I asked if he had a head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, alright. You see it kind of shamble a little bit, and it's sort of a unsettling sight as the body tries to raise its head and shoulders up off the ground, and just... It's like a big water balloon is attached to the end of a broomstick. The head just kind of
No, stay right
mushes,
down.
and it
Stay
realizes, I can't move, and it kind of lowers back down and relaxes the water balloon.
down. Very sorry about this, sir.
There's not really eyes, but the squish just kind of sits there waiting.
What happened to you?
I died.
Motherfucker. What killed you?
I think a dinosaur?
Torin's just gonna like slack-jawed look up at Hachu.
A dinosaur?
That's a question. No, damn it!
Big and scaled and angry and snarling and squished me.
Alright, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait, was that the
How many
third
questions
wait.
do you
That
have?
wasn't a question. That was just him saying you're welcome.
Oh, okay. I thought Hachu's a dinosaur was the second question or third question in that.
A
case.
dinosaur was the third question.
Okay, so he's done.
No, he's got 2 more. It's 5
Wait,
questions.
5?
Yep, it's
Oh,
5
it's
questions
I
for
was
this.
thinking 3.
It's 5 in D&D, 3 in VG3.
Yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
What were you doing at the time?
If he could turn his head, he would, but instead the water balloon just kind of leans a little to the side. I was eating a sandwich.
Okay, so he doesn't know. Hachu, what's a good last question?
What did the dinosaur look like?
He just explained that.
He kind of shifts and looks back up. I think he was yellow. And then the head kind of relaxes and kind of deflates back out into like deflated whoopee cushion, just squishy head, and the body fully relaxes.
Torin like pulls the sheet back over him.
Yeah, you lay the sheet back over, attach his face back to the head.
Now I could do that on the other 2, but that'd be a lot harder to pull off.
Yeah, we'd have to clear the area out. No offense, but I don't want anyone else
Also-
seeing this.
Also, hold on. A damn dinosaur?
But yeah, a big yellow scaled dinosaur. What?
Like one of them the skeleton things in the museum. Like one of them.
No, I don't think it's actually a dinosaur. I think he just kind of thought it was because he's an idiot from Boston. It's something scaly and tall and dinosaur shaped, I guess, but probably not a dinosaur.
And with the revelation of the yellow dinosaur question mark,
The yellow
we will
dinosaur question mark
pause-
nerders.
We will pause the half session there until Friday. See y'all then.
The airplane put down at the airstrip on a cold and gloomy day, and the 6 aboard all knew their homes were very far away. The strife that gripped the forest all around them was their plight. They knew that something out there wasn't right. There were creatures in the bush, and there were soldiers in the woods. There were zealots in the ruins. There was magic that's no good. Grenades were used aplenty, guns and swords brought in, and death. When it finished, only 5 of 6 were left. On the flight back to their quarters, the new place to be their home, the dangers of their future had been surely set in stone. The content of their briefing brought their purpose into light. These 5 strangers had been brought into the fight. There are stories of the kobold, of Wilhelm Schwartz and Father Peter too. There are tales of the hoplite, of Leroy Copeland and Hachu. And while the details of their past and trials were never meant to spawn, the deeds of wondrous company will live on. Yes, the deeds of wondrous company will live on.